about the turntable. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and a gender-positive impact to the society. Today on Open Conversation, we'll look at the stories. First, Anambra State gubernatorial election. Tinubu hails Soludo's victory as ADC cries foul. Still on Anambra State election, Lagos APC tells Obi to drop 2027 ambition over loss of polling units. On Katsina State's communities, bandits sign peace pact amid tensions. And then on to Kebbi State, where the governor hails security operatives for Deputy Speaker's rescue. On PDP crisis, state chairman reaffirms support for Damagum leadership. And on general elections, Deputy Speaker, House of Rep, Carlo urges Ndibo to join national politics ahead of 2027. We are open for sponsorship of the program, advert placements, news, events coverage, and commercials. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. You can also watch us on Avo TV, Niger TV, and Efastech TV platform. You can connect with us on our ATN socials by subscribing, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and next, on X, Atlantic TV Net. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Dr. Kingsley Akumefule. Dr. Kingsley Akumefule is a political analyst and also a regular on Open Conversation. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Laurentia.
And on to the story. President Bola Tinubu on Sunday congratulated Governor Chukwuma Soludo on his re-election, describing the outcome as an affirmation of visionary leadership and promising stronger federal-state collaboration with Anambra State. The Independent National Electoral Commission declared Soludo winner of Saturday's off-cycle poll after he clinched victory in all 21 local government areas, making him the third governor in Anambra's history to win a second term. Tinubu commended voters, security agencies, and INEC for ensuring a peaceful exercise, urging Soludo to be magnanimous in victory. The president also applauded the new INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amupitan, for what he called a credible poll, urging the commission to sustain improved electoral standards. Governor Soludo has demonstrated that knowledge is power, applying academic principles to governance through accountability and transparency, Tinubu stated, pledging continued federal support for Anambra. However, the African Democratic Congress sharply disagreed, condemning the election as a marketplace of cash for votes. In a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, the party accused the ruling All-Grand Progressive Alliance of orchestrating widespread vote buying, alleging that security operatives and electoral officials looked the other way. It warned that such practices, if unchecked, could imperil the credibility of the 2027 general elections. Soludo, who polled 422,664 votes to defeat APC's Nicholas Okachukwu with 99,445 votes, extended APGA's two-decade dominance in Anambra politics. Analysts said the result reinforced Soludo's political influence and APGA's grassroots strength in the southeast. With this victory, Soludo's tenure gains fresh momentum to continue his solution agenda, as he assured citizens of sustained development and inclusive governance. What do you make of this story, Honorable Kingsley?
Yes, first let me join Mr. President to congratulate Professor Charles Soludo on his victory on Saturday. And also say that if the president, who has all the information, more than anybody could have in this country, who see good things from Soludo and congratulated him, who am I, the ordinary person, not to join him in congratulating Soludo? It therefore means that Soludo is doing very well, because the president is not a member of the APGA, he's a member of APC. And his own party person contested that election and lost to Soludo, who is from APGA. And so I want to join the president to congratulate Charles Soludo and ask those who had lost the election to accept victory. You know, in Nigeria, it is very difficult for losers to accept that they've lost. Rather than accepting and congratulating the person who had won an election, they would say a lot of things. And that is the reason why our courts are flooded with too many petitions immediately after election. Because a lot of persons are not ready to accept victory, or rather accept defeat. You know, let me also join the president again to ask Professor Soludo to be magnanimous indeed. If any of those candidates who had run the election with him, you know, accepts that he's been defeated and ask that they join him in consolidating on whatever good things he's doing in Anambra, I would pray that he understands it and accept them wholeheartedly. They are Anambarians. Only him cannot do the work. Yes, it is true, based on what the president has said, and what we have also seen that he's doing a number that he is doing very well. But he also needs some other persons, like most of those guys who contested that election with him, to join forces with him, bring their own intelligence and knowledge or whatever they have, so Anambra can be better again. You know, let me also commend Joash. Yes, This is the second election he has conducted as he just assumed office. And we could see that there's a leap in the progress that INEC is making. And that he has made a little progress doesn't mean he has actually done anything. So we're asking him to do more, so that in the next election, I think Ekiti or so, and some other elections that will come, we want to see more things, more better outlooks about the Nigerian election. The INEC has a lot to do. We believe that they have too much to do, especially in this area of vote buying. If there is anything like that, I'm not in Anambra.
There were reports of vote buying.
Yes, I had the reports.
Even
the DSS said they've arrested 3 persons.
EFCC.
Yes, the EFCC have arrested 3 persons. So if Anambra has 21 local government areas with too many wards and all that, and such number of allegations, just 3 was recorded. I think
3 were recorded to be arrested.
Yes,
however, there were also pockets of vote buyings in different polling units.
Definitely, we have not gotten to the point in Nigeria where there will be 100% electoral. It's not possible. Even we as human beings, we are not perfect. Our level of imperfection will also be shown in almost every sphere of our life, including the electioneering process and the INEC. So I think that if it was just 3 that the EFCC had arrested, taken to the large size of Anambra State, it means that the election to an extent was fair, credible, and transparent. But that does not give room for INEC to, sit back. I think they have a lot to do. Nigerians are expecting more, and we pray that as the time goes by, we'll see more improvement in the process of electioneering in Nigeria through the new INEC channel.
So for you, if Anambra State was a litmus test for Joash Amupitam, for you he passed the test.
Yes.
He passed the test.
Yes.
All right, very well. Still on Anambra State gubernatorial election, Lagos State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has advised Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, to abandon his 2027 ambition following his party's poor showing in the Anambra governorship election. The APC spokesperson, Sheye Oladejo, in a statement on Sunday, said the Labour Party's defeat, including in Obi's polling unit, signaled the collapse of his political base and declining influence of the obedient movement. Oladejo argued that social media popularity cannot substitute for solid political structure and consistent voter engagement. He noted that the outcome of the poll underscored the importance of planning, grassroots mobilization and performance, adding that the APC's showing in Anambra reflected growing public confidence in the party's leadership under President Bola Tinubu. Commending the Independent National Electoral Commission and security agencies for ensuring a peaceful election, the Lagos APC spokesman urged politicians to draw lessons from Anambra's outcome. He maintained that electoral victories are earned through governance and delivery, not online enthusiasm, and reaffirmed PAPC's commitment to national unity, development, and credible democratic processes. What is your position on the APC Lagos State taking a swipe at Peter Obi? Because, first of all, Peter Obi lost in his own unit. And secondly, Labour Party performed abysmally in the Anambra Guba elections. Yeah. What is your take?
My take is this. For now, I don't even know the party Peter Obi belongs to. First. Yes, whether he's still in Labour or he's in ADC or in any party. Because his style of politics in the recent past has shown that he's not actually focused on what he's doing, especially as 2027 draws closer. A politician, even a politician at this level that would want to run for presidential election in 2027 should at this point be known for the party he actually belongs to, and should be working very assiduously to seeing that he wins first his own territory. If you lose election in your unit as a presidential candidate, it means you are not even ready to contest election.
because they say charity begins at home. You know, so it's not enough to always be on the social media every day. People are reading you on the social media, and you are not amongst your people. Every politician goes home every weekend, you know, to conscientize your people of what you are doing, and also assure them of what you would want to do moving forward. But for Peter Obi, with due respect to him, he has been more popular on social media than the practical political process that we understand as Nigerians. You know, Nigerian people will want to see you around them. Somebody is doing better, you are there. Somebody is doing anything, you are there. You are encouraging your people. Not when you want to make headlines, you go to northeast. You go to one barrier, you go there, or a place where they don't have water, you buy water. You want to feed a baby so that people will notice that you're working. That's not politics. Politics is practical. And I think it has been shown now in the last election that Peter Obi is not on ground in his place. So if it is not on ground in his place, it therefore means that he's not ready for the 2027 presidential election. And so I joined the APC chairman in Lagos State, who has said that Peter Obi is a social media politician, to ask Peter Obi to have a rethink if indeed he's ready to run that election in 2027, or he should, as a matter of fact, support the president who is doing well, because what the president is doing is seen almost everywhere. Anambra before now, it's difficult for APC to get such kind of vote before now. If not for the fact that Soludo did very well, or is doing very well, Soludo would have lost that election, because the APC people are growing. The number of APC followers and supporters in Anambra State is increasing on a daily basis. And I think that the APC also need to work harder, because if care is not taken, in the next election, Soludo might also use whatever he's doing to hand over to another APGA person. And it becomes like a ritual. Almost every year, APGA is taking over Anambra State. Yes, APGA is a party every other person in Anambra would want to work with. But because of what Soludo has done, which I know was the reason for which he had this victory, the victory to the extent that the president of a country, who is a member of another political party, you know, had reasons to say the governor is indeed working. But I feel that me as an APC person, I'm not too happy. APC should work harder. We want to see APC come up, take over leadership in Anambra State, especially with what the president is really doing in this country. However, I want to once again join the president to congratulate Professor Charles Soludo and ask our friend and brother, Mr. Peter Obi, to see reasons why he should join hands to support the president in his next election, and then prepare himself for perhaps future elections, not for 2027. Not for 2027.
Yes. Okay, for you, the Anambra State elections exposed the disconnect between Peter Obi and his people, especially at the grassroots level, particularly with regards to going by his popularity. He was a former governor. Two-time governor. Two-time governor. To lose, I think, if we even leave the presidential candidacy thing, the fact that he was a two-time governor and he lost in his own unit. Let's not talk about his local government, his own unit, his base.
His own family.
That's his kindred, because that's where his polling unit is. You know, one would say to a large extent that is very symbolic of a clear disconnect between him. And apart from that, Labour Party came
third.
Not third. Labour Party came fourth.
Fourth, okay.
PDP took last, right? PDP got 8,401 votes. Okay. That was what PDP got. Labour Party, I think Labour Party got around 10,000 votes or less than that. That was what Labour Party got. And out of over 500,000 voters, Labour Party pulled. And Labour Party used to, you know, be a keen, close contestant to APGA. You understand? The Labour Party usually used to give APGA a run for their money in Anambra State. But one would say, for the two political parties, Labour Party and PDP, that, you know, contested very closely with APC in 2023 election. going by, if this Anambra State election is anything to go by, then one would say how great the mighty has fallen. Do you think it is a reflection of the national crisis on the state's performance during the elections?
First, the performance of the president, the current president, which also is seen in what the governor of Anambra State is doing, is a major reason for which you see the decimation of every other party. Every other party. You know, the party has been decimated. PDP and ABGA. I mean, what's it called, Labour Party. What happened in this last election? I attribute it to the level of performance that the president is doing. If APC of all people in the East, especially in Anambra State, could come up to a second position, you know, it means that...
That's a miracle.
Yes, it means that because APC is not...
Anambra hates APC.
That's what I'm saying. And now APC is coming second.
Second, 99,000 votes.
It means that the works of the president is really speaking. You know, if you also see the way the governor of Anambra State relates with the president, you would understand that there must be something actually going on. It means that the president is indeed having a very strong touch, close touch with the Anambarians through the leadership of the state, I mean the governor. Because if the governor is over time, you know, doing projects with the kind of support he's having from the
Or would one say that
government.
Governor Chukwuma Soludo was smart enough to have a healthy relationship with the federal government?
There is no governor in this dispensation, irrespective of the party, that does not have a healthy relationship with the president, including Abia State. Just look at all the governors of the states, especially those who are not members of the All Progressive Congress. They do not have any issue with the president. In fact, almost all the time, if they appear on national television, they have always given credit to the president. It means that the president is indeed doing very well. What you see happening in various states, especially states who are not APC states, is a reflection of the support that the president is giving to the states.
Right.
You know, so, and that has in a long way helped states develop. I look at Abia State. Abia State, we used to know Abia State as a very dirty state. One of the states that doesn't perform anyway, anyhow, before now. But today, with the amount of money they are getting from the federal government, the support they are getting, go to Abia State. People are attributing it to OT, but not just OT. You should remotely look at what is happening. That's why OT can never go to any media and say the president is bad. In fact, I told everybody that he can't speak anything against the president. Same thing in Anambra State. Same thing even with the PDP states. So I think that the support the president is given to states in a long way is helping the development we see in various states, especially in those states that are not members of the All Progressive Congress. And that went a long way to helping Soludo in Anambra State. And that's the reason for which you see Soludo having that close relationship with the federal government. All
right, very well. And community leaders and council chairmen from Charanji and Batagarawa local government areas of Katsina State have entered into a peace agreement with a group of armed bandits in a bid to end violence in the region. The meeting held on Saturday, November 8 in Woma town of Korfi local government was attended by traditional rulers, local government officials, and representatives of the forest-based Fulani community. During the talks, one of the bandit leaders declared that the insurgents were willing to abandon attacks and kidnappings, claiming their actions were driven by political manipulation. The government made us to do it, they said, but now they have asked us to stop. By God's grace, we have stopped from today, the speaker said, adding that true peace depends on the sincerity of Nigerian leaders. The development follows remarks by Kaduna-based Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, who argued that bandits were acting out of revenge rather than malice. Gumi urged the Tinubu administration to engage in dialogue and rehabilitation efforts rather than relying solely on military force, stressing that reconciliation was key to lasting peace in northern Nigeria.
Very shameful.
What do you have? What do you make
It's
of
very,
this?
very shameful that a country would now depend on making peace with non-state actors before they could exist. It's very, very shameful. I can't believe that we're in Nigeria, that militia, terrorists are the ones giving condition for peace in Nigeria. That's very shameful. The government at all tiers, the federal, the state, the local government had failed. Now, what you just watch, what you see happening, will be a more encouragement to those terrorists to continue to operate. To the extent where they could come in an open place, had such kind of meeting and no attack was meted on them. They had free discussion with the people, giving even the people condition. I read that even the local government chairman was right there seated.
Exactly.
That's shameful. What is the guts? How would even the community, how would the people feel when their life is now dependent on the terrorists to either allow them live or kill them? That's exactly what it means. So how long shall we continue like this? And I think that it is high time that the federal government started thinking of getting this Gumi. What is he doing?
The question now will be, who is Sheikh Gumi? What is his role? What is his interests? Right? Yes, probably at some point, federal government decided to negotiate with bandits. In the first instance, I have a lot of questions swirling around my head. How did he know where they are, who they are, and all that? Don't forget that the Zamfara State governor gave I've watched two different interviews by him. One, he gave to an international television station, and one, a national television station, where he openly confessed that they know who the bandits are, they know where they live, they know their families, they know everything about them, that they live amongst them. Then the question, why can't you arrest them? Why can't you do anything about it? He said that they know where they live, but they cannot do anything about it. It makes sense to me. And guess what? He's also pushing the blame back to the federal government, because he's saying he's not in charge of the military. He's not in charge of the police. So
now the issue is that what do they now do with the security votes that they collect? Go to the budget. If you see the humongous amount
because the
of money,
more the states, the more there is insecurity in a state, the higher the security.
That's
vote.
exactly what I'm saying.
And Nigerians are not even looking at this perspective.
These monies that have been given to them,
the state
both the
governors,
state and local government, what are they doing
for
with
security
the security votes, for Christ's sake? What is even the federal government doing? How can you be playing with people who are killing you and you are negotiating? Is it possible you negotiate with your enemy? Somebody you know that is killing you and you are negotiating with him freely. What is the reason for the negotiation? How long shall we continue? This thing has been there for who knows how long. Most of the politicians in the north are the ones who even have these guys as their own private securities because of the gold mining and other businesses they are doing. And today the thing has skyrocketed. It has increased to the extent that they can no longer control it. If you see the crowd of these guys when they are coming out, the crowd, most times they attend public functions, weddings, openly. And you see the millions of young men carrying a gun as if they are even in the army, wearing military army uniforms. And these guys have AIDS. They get their AIDS. People even land from with choppers and all that to give them AIDS and all that. So what is the country doing? I am so ashamed of what is happening. Even if I'm not a supporter that American government should issue threats and just come into the country and all that, but it is high time our country and leader begin to see how he negotiates with the American government to fight. We can't live like this.
Now the question is, there are a lot of questions in my head, and I'm glad that we're having this conversation, and I'm having it with you, Dr. Kingsley Akumefile. Now, there are a lot of questions begging to be answered. When you talk of the federal government doing something, the humongous security votes being given to the governors and local government chairmen in these insecurity-prone areas, one would say to a large extent, is there political will to implement?
Okay.
Is there political will to implement? Let's look at the treatment of the federal government, you know, how federal government and security operatives treat these people as against how they treat ordinary Nigerians. I'm using that word, ordinary. Now, it is on news and on record that some of these arrested, you know, bandits are rehabilitated. The military, I've forgotten one of the operations the military called it, gave it one name, Operation so and so, and they have been rehabilitated and reintegrated into the society, even among the rank and file of our security forces. I mean, the records are there, where terrorists are rehabilitated and reintegrated. And the military wonders that there is sabotage all the time. That is number one. Number two, Femi Falana has come out to call out Ali Modu Sheriff on his activities with the Boko Haram, how Boko Haram helped him to come back as the governor. You understand? And how everything escalated. There are persons in the corridors of power that have been implicated. I mean, even their comments on social media, Nigerians don't forget. They have started digging up their comments on social media and tagging President Trump and tagging different international bodies and persons to look into the persons of, you know, to look into this political class. So one would say, is it that the federal government cannot, or is it that the political will to do it is not there because of certain powers that be, that in one way or the other may be directly or indirectly tied? I also came across a document where names of certain persons were mentioned. Their links to sponsors, their links, names that we know. I came across that document, and you know, I was like, oh, interesting. So, Kingsley Akumefile, why are we shielding these people? Why are we protecting them? And why is it that the government does not want to do anything? Is it lack of political will, or is there something bigger that we don't know?
You know, this is a security matter, and there are a lot of things that they do in secret when it comes to security matters, and that is the reason why most persons are not braced with the things that they are doing when it comes to security issues. Ordinarily, what we see today in this country is very shameful, like I said. The government is not doing enough. They've not even done anything. As far as I'm concerned, if the government start going after most of the names that have been implicated, there could be some sort of leeways to getting to the end. But you know these persons, a lot of names have been, you know, published and all that, yet nobody had arrested them. There has been no interrogation and all that. So it gives these guys the impetus to continue to do what they are doing. If these guys come up publicly, attend functions, and nothing is done, most times they spend hours in those functions, nothing is done, nobody comes after them. It gives them more power, you know, to begin to parade themselves like they are now the gods of the land. They now own the land, and government at every level is sitting idly, doing nothing, watching this kind of thing. My dear sister, I don't just understand what is happening, but I think that the government can do something, and they know what to do, but the will to doing those things is the problem we have. Like you asked about the political will, the will to stopping these guys is the reason I can't just explain. When he started here in the South, somebody will go commit atrocity and all that. At the end, they gave them amnesty, sent some of them abroad, whether they actually attended the school or not. I don't know. Started paying them money, monthly stipends and all that. I queried that process. And before you know it, these people now fight. So if you can do this to these people, then we know that we even have, let us, you know, they have strengthened their own arms and become bigger, bolder, stronger than the people. None of those actors, political actors who brought these guys to limelight can question them today.
But it has evolved from Boko Haram to ISWAP.
Yeah, it has gone far. Now they have international connections, support, aids, and all that. So it has gone very at this level where they are now. You can imagine that they used to have choppers drop and all that, drop ammunition, everything for them. Some NGOs, in the name of NGO, come with planes, bring weapons, bring everything. Name of that coming for it. A lot is happening.
And
we're doing their business steady.
Our airspace is so porous.
Very porous.
Now one will start questioning Nigerian Air Force. The question is, are we even asking the right questions? And are Nigerians scared to speak out? Are we asking the right questions? Now, for a community, for two communities and local governments to have an open negotiation with the bandits goes to show loss of confidence
in the government. Sure.
Loss of confidence in the system, loss of confidence in the security apparatus of the nation, right? That they are now at the mercy of terrorists and they are willing to negotiate for their lives because the system has failed them
completely.
Now, this brings me to the story of a young man in Adamawa State who disarmed bandits that came to his farm and ended up, you know, they fought. He disarmed the armed bandit and killed him. And he was sentenced to death. He appealed, and at the appeal court, that death sentence was affirmed. He also appealed to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court upheld the death sentence. Meanwhile, that was committed on the ground of self-defense, which even makes me start asking about what exactly is going on. Have you ever heard, Dr. Kingsley Akumefule, that any of these armed bandits that have been arrested, according to the news and what they tell us, have been successfully prosecuted? Give me one example of one successful prosecution of one armed bandit or terrorist.
The reason is this, like I said when we started, that security is a very delicate matter. And there are issues that are not put to the public. The Nigerian government had told us that they had prosecuted several of them, and judgments have also been given in, but they didn't mention names. But for me, no matter what they say, no matter the number of persons they had told us they had prosecuted and all that, I think they have done nothing. They need to work. Nigerians are tired of what is happening, not only in the northeast now. It is a general issue to Nigeria. Almost everywhere. Today, the north central, people no longer live there, especially Plateau and Benue State. In the east, there is problem. And there's everywhere in Nigeria there is crisis. And as we continue like this, and nothing is done, a time would come when even us here who feel we are safe here won't be safe any longer. Because, okay, for example, the threat that America has just unleashed on Nigeria, the information we have is that most of these terrorists and bandits are beginning to relocate. And nobody knows.
Chad has closed their borders.
Good. Nobody knows where they are relocating to. Because we don't have that strong security base here in the country. And so people will now, go to any place they like now. Before you know it, they build their stronghold there and begin to unleash mayhem on Nigerian people. I think that the government, I lack words exactly on this security issue. I lack words because it's something, I'm not a security expert, number one. Number two, it's also a delicate matter. A delicate in the sense that you don't know what you will say. But the only thing I think I should say is that Nigerian government can do better than what they are doing. This is not right any longer.
The thing is, when we keep saying it's a delicate matter, security issues are delicate. How delicate is the Nigerian life?
It's a delicate matter because your life is important.
But then, is my life important?
It is.
Well, you are saying that my life is important to you, to the federal government, to the state government, even the local government. Is my life important? That is exactly the point. Because if the lives of these communities in Katsina State, it's important, I don't think they will stoop so low to, broker peace deal with bandits, the same people that have killed their parents, killed their wives, their husbands, their brothers, taking their farmlands. I mean, entire communities in the north have been taken over. Entire communities.
They do not have option.
And that's the thing. So if the government considers their lives important, I don't think they will be doing this. So when you say my life is important, I'm wondering to the federal government, how important is my life exactly? How important is the life of the next person exactly? The lives of cows. I watched an old clip of what transpired one time in the Senate, where senators, Nigerian senators, were actually arguing with regards to the life of Nigerians. And one state at some point had to stand up to condemn that literate senators cannot come and support and make reference or infer, covertly or otherwise, that animals have more value than human lives. I watched it. I cannot quote exactly. I watched it and I saved that clip. Probably one day I will play it on this program. A day is coming where we'll remind the government all the years of negligence of human lives in this country. I will play it I will do a documentary. I think I'm going to do that. Do a documentary on Nigerian security system and what the federal government has done so far, and play it so that even the federal government, they need to wake up. They need to wake up. Why does it have to take President Trump to tweet for the Nigerian system to start waking? Why does it take President Trump to do a press conference for Nigerian system, federal government, to suddenly start running helter-skelter? Why? That's why I asked, do we matter at all in this country?
The truth, Lauricia, my dear, is that, like I said, my life is very important. Every Nigerian person's life is very important. We provide our securities ourselves in this country. If you don't have your personal security, your life is at risk. And so what is the government doing? By right, they swore an oath to protect lives and property. And so in this country, that oath that they swore is no longer working. And so Nigerians now, we feed ourselves, we provide our water, we also protect ourselves. And so that's the extent to which we've gotten. And that's the reason why I think that it is not shameful that the people of Katsina are asking for peace deal with this guy. Because over time, they've seen that the government has failed them. Nobody protects them. They no longer go to farm. And these are predominantly farmers. People who feed themselves with farming. Nothing is happening any longer. Almost every day they run from one IDP center to another. So how long will these persons live in IDPs? How long? Those IDPs, are they even safe there? They are not safe. And so if they had discovered over time that the country had failed them, they would have no option than to resort to making peace with these, their killers.
And most times it doesn't work. Is this the first time?
And let me shock you, that is even the worst thing to do. Because now they live in the mercy of those guys. And there is nothing the local government can do.
Now, the local government that went for this peace deal, is the local government chairman trying to tell me that money will not exchange hands?
No, that is
in order to, maintain peace in their community. So now, technically, they will be funding them
also let you know
even
this.
more.
If you look at this now,
I forgot to mention, you know that when I was watching some documentaries and I spoke to some of I do have some family members in the north, by the way. They said, you know, particularly in those rural areas, they pay taxes to bandits to harvest.
That's exactly what
They
do.
pay taxes to Oh God!
Now, let me shock you.
You recall the Yelwata massacre that lasted for hours. They put SOS call out to the military for hours. That massacre lasted. The military did not show up.
I think the federal government also need to question the state governor. The local government chairman cannot do that without the knowledge of the state governor. It's not possible.
Of Katsina State.
You know, it's not possible. You can't do that. The moment a local government chairman does that without the knowledge of the governor, the assembly will suspend that local government chairman. The governor will ask that he should be suspended immediately. Because why would the local government chairman go and sit in a peace deal with his killers? Those who have terrorized you for so many years.
Compromising the position of the state.
No, it therefore means that there is no government in that particular place.
And secondly, by this act, they have accepted defeat.
Long ago, that's the reason why the community people had to ask for this.
All right.
And it also means that the local government chairman's life is not safe. Because this guy can come anytime and kidnap him and ask for money. In fact, they've opened another channel of business. Because any of the officials of that local government can be picked anytime and they'll ask for...
Hold that thought, Honorable,
Oh
because this brings me to the next story. Please hold that thought. Because, yes, like you said, this has led to another opening of their business. Kebbi State Governor Nasser Idris has lauded the bravery and professionalism of security agencies for successfully rescuing the kidnapped Deputy Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Muhammad Bagudo. In a statement by his chief press secretary, Ahmed Idris, on Sunday, the governor said the operation reflected the unwavering commitment of the military, police, and other operatives deployed across the state. Governor Idris commended the synergy among the various security formations, noting that their coordinated approach has been instrumental in combating criminal elements. He urged the agencies to sustain the momentum until all abducted persons are rescued and peace is fully restored across the state. He also appealed to residents to support ongoing security operations by providing credible and timely intelligence to aid in tracking criminal networks. This victory shows the determination of our security operatives to protect lives and ensure peace in Kebbi, he said, pledging continued good
people are killed before the military or the security persons could come into force to protecting the lives of the people. It's a serious concern. Nigerian government need to wake up. So if the speaker was not abducted, the security wouldn't have worked. Again, because he's
Said. And this is just one among others that has been happening in recent times. So it appears that there is a change in their modus operandi, and it appears that now their bullets are now facing the political elites.
maybe that would awaken the sleeping political leaders, because they are indeed sleeping. They can't tell me they are not aware of what is happening even in their various constituencies, but because it has not gotten to them. And so everybody stays in the city and they enjoy themselves and feel that nothing is happening. So, but when it begins to, be targeted towards those of them who are the corridors of powers, it probably would make them, wake up, perhaps move some bills in the assembly, as it were, both national and
even with
state.
moving bills, will it change anything?
It could, because if everybody have this fear that it could be me anytime, they will push. The federal government will see the level. If the federal government brings a bill and they refuse to do it, asking the government to do what is required of them to do, that be this seriousness. The three arms of this government should come together, support the president to fight this fight. It's not enough to say the America is not supposed to come here. Now it is now time. Call the American government. Since that is the legal way, the normal way to respect sovereignty, call the American government, enter into this bilateral relationship with them. Let there be understanding between America and Nigeria to fish out these persons who are doing this. Because first and foremost, they need to
with their sponsors.
That's exactly what I'm saying. They need to first fish them out. Sheikh Gumi is there walking around every day. And people are praising him. He made a statement last time and said these guys are their security in the bushes.
All right. And he's walking free.
Oh.
He's celebrated. He gives press conference.
Everywhere.
If even the bandits now give press conference,
They even protect him, even he has
do.
international coverage. Because this Sheikh Gumi is one of the highest gold miners in the north. With the protection from these guys. And they have international collaborators.
Well, interesting. Now moving on to PDP crisis. Former Forum of State Chairman of the People's Democratic Party has declared full support for the factional national chairman, Umar Damagum, dismissing the rival leadership led by Abdurrahman Mohammed as illegitimate. Rising from a meeting on Thursday, the 29th state chairman affirmed that Damagum remains the only recognized national chairman under the party's 2017 constitution as amended. In a statement issued after the meeting, the forum said the PDP has only one national chairman, His Excellency Omar Damagum, while urging members to disregard claims from the opposing camp. The chairman also pledged continued loyalty to the party's established leadership structure and constitutional authority. The forum commended the collaborative leadership among the National Working Committee, the PDP Governors Forum led by Bauchi State Governor Bala Muhammad, and the Board of Trustees chaired by Senator Adolphus Wabara. They describes the synergy as crucial to stabilizing the party and preparing it to rescue Nigeria's ailing democracy ahead of future elections. Dr. Kingsley, why are you smiling?
I'm smiling because I use the word rescue. Rescue indeed.
You have the floor. What is your take on
when you
this
couldn't
position?
rescue yourself, you want to rescue Nigerian democracy. The truth is, first, when you say PDP chairman, I wonder who those chairmen are.
States.
That's what I'm saying.
Not governors.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder who those chairmen are, because majority of these states, their governors have defected to APC, and they defected with all the escorts of their party. So I don't know when they had conducted the mini congresses there to raise new executives of those party chairmen and all that. So I wonder who these chairmen are. That's one. Number two, supporting a man who actually contributed to the death of the party is
that is Damagum.
Yes.
You think Damagum
contributed a lot.
How so?
Damagum is like a cheap buy. A cheap buy in the sense that he can fall in for anybody as far as you are the highest bidder. Damagum was one of the closest persons that was working with Nyesom Wike. Maybe at the point where he feels the loot, the money was not coming again, he took another step. Or perhaps people had begun to see the things he was doing, and he feels, maybe let me not expose myself too much. He now turned to the other way. If Damagum has stood his ground as a national chairman who understands what it means to lead, I don't think that PDP would have died the extent they are dead now, because not just dying, because they're completely dead. So whatever that will resurrect PDP is not Damagum. PDP really needs this, what's it called, their convention. They actually need to raise new leadership that can be trusted, you know, so they can begin to struggle for years.
But their convention right now is controversial.
Very controversial. That's exactly what I'm saying. He contributed immensely to what is happening to PDP. One. Number two, I don't trust whoever is signing as chairman of various states of PDP, because majority of those states, even where they have the governors, are no longer there with them. So I don't know, Bayelsa, the PDP, all the ESCOs or the joined the governor. Enugu state, they joined their governor. All the states. And so who are those men who have been signing that? I wonder. So, but all I pray is that PDP should look for a way to fix themselves and maybe perhaps run as one of the opposition, but they're no longer the major opposition in Nigerian politics.
Now, when you look at it, when you say PDP will find a way to fix themselves, I think one would say that the only way they could fix them, or they can fix themselves, is through the National Convention, if they are able to, you know, elect capable hands to, you know, steer the ship of PDP. But currently, even that National Convention right now, it's controversial. The question of the legitimacy of the National Convention, you know, comes to mind. Don't forget that Justice James Omotosho of Federal High Court had barred PDP from conducting the election. However, a faction of the PDP went to Oyo State High Court, Oyo, and got another judgment by Justice, I think, Akintola also, to go ahead with the convention. And that is courts of concurrent jurisdiction, you know, giving orders or rulings on the same matter. But the question now will be, which court gave the ruling first? And why didn't this faction go ahead, in this instance, Damagum? Why didn't Damagum's faction go ahead to appeal the ruling of the court and have it vacated? Why go to another court? So that even makes me wonder, Damagum and the others, are they actually working in the interest of PDP, or are these factions, are they doing Nigerians, the more you look, the less you see? Because one would expect that as a politician, you should understand basic political strategy, what will work and what will not work. Instead, the response is to suspend some members of the National Working Committee along with some members of the party. And they suspended National Working Committee and their party supporters now suspended Damagum and elected their own acting chairman as well as Board of Trustee. So we have Board of Trustee headed by Wabara backing Damagum as the factional president, and we have the Board of Trustee headed by Ohabunwa and Makrafi as the secretary, backing Mohammed as the factional chairman or factional national president of PDP. One would say which way?
You see, the truth is, this fight of supremacy would not help the PDP. The only solution to their crisis will be a political solution. A political solution in which the both factions must come together, then adopt persons from the both factions and have a unitary date for a unitary convention.
So which means if that is the case, then the elections of executives will now have to be by consensus.
That's the only,
and no longer by vote.
That's the only way they can get this problem. They can get out of this problem.
They can resolve it.
This crisis, if not properly managed, would bury PDP. Like I said, they are dead already. So it will bury them finally and cement the grave. The only way they can come out of it is they must look for political solution. And that political solution will only come when the two factions are ready to adopt persons from the both factions, then go for a unitary convention. Without this, there is nothing that can come out of it. Because as it is now, it's like a fight of the titans. You know, the few governors remaining will be ready to bring the money. And there are those who also have the financial watchers in this other side. So they will be bringing money, spending money. This one will not say, will not agree, because I think I am this will say,
when you're looking at this now, who is in charge of Wadata Blaza now? It is
as of today, it is the
FCT Minister
faction that is in that Wadata Plaza. You know, that's the people that are there now. So I don't know where these other people are operating from.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know. Perhaps in the house of somebody, you know, because they don't have a secretariat. So it's a serious issue. It's a serious issue. There is no how this fight will end without compromise. If they don't compromise with each other, because the two factions, there won't be any solution to this. And the elections are very close. In fact, they have Ekiti state elections. Is it Ekiti? Good. And so what are they going to do now?
Ekiti is coming up.
Yes, what are they going to do? Because the letter they've written to INEC, some other faction have countered it and others. So which one would INEC take in this circumstance?
And you know, one of the things that even got the PDP National Convention contested in court was Senator Samuel Anyanwu, alleging that he did not author the letter to INEC for the National Convention.
Yes.
He did not issue notice of that meeting, and he did not author it. Correct?
And by the constitution of the party?
The constitution of PDP says that while the national president summons the meeting, it is, and presides over the meeting, the national secretary issues notices of the meeting and also take records and all of that, you know, proceedings of the meeting. Now, yes, Damagum have summoned the meeting, but Senator Samuel is saying, I did not issue notice of the meeting. My signature was forged, you know, and he raised a petition to the police and the DSS to investigate both INEC and staff of PDP. Now, the question will be, if he did not issue notice of that meeting, who did? That's the question. Who did? And if he's claiming he did not issue notice of that meeting, and PDP goes ahead on the strength of that letter that he claims is forged to hold the National Convention, can one say the National Convention is authentic or legitimate?
It won't be legitimate because the procedure has already been faulted. Because if the constitution says the secretary approves the invitation for such meetings, and the secretary is saying, I was not the one who authored this letter. So it means that there is a problem, So they just really need to come together.
And on the other hand, these other people, one would question, can they even hold their own convention? Because the national president has to summon for national convention. The emergence of Mohammed as the factional president, can one say there's the national president, factional national chairman of PDP, can one say that it is authentic? Can that process be called authentic?
Either way, listen, it is the National Working Committee in this circumstance that elects a new leadership.
In this instance,
in this instance, yes, even if it's divided, when they have any side that has the majority, there should be a specified number of majority that they would have.
That will form a quorum for the meeting.
So if any faction that gets that majority and does whatever they do, that one is the legitimate side of it. But I wouldn't know the number of
on the side of the FCT ministers
of each of these divides that they have. That's the reason why I said all they need now is compromise, because there is a serious problem. Majority of these officers who were there before were also being controlled by some of these governors that had left the party. So that you have a lot of vacuum. And if anything is to go by, those governors who left will not side the Damagon faction. And so if they now even ask their followers or supporters who are members of this National Working Committee to support whatever side, they will support the side of
because of the FCT minister is working with the
president, the APC government. So that's the side
they will naturally tell their supporters to back the FCT.
With this now, they might even have the majority, the total majority.
With time.
To get whatever they want to get. So I think that all they need now is just compromise. If actually they would want the PDP to continue to be a party in this country. For now, PDP is not a party.
All right.
Yes, there is nothing happening in PDP. PDP cannot constitute anything to fight as opposition. So there is nothing they are doing as it is today. So I think that they need to wake up, Every faction should compromise. It must give compromise before that party can stand again. But when we continue in the trajectory they are going, every person will want to show.
And close to the national, I have a feeling that by 2026, if this is not resolved within the first quarter of 2026, which is the political year, the remaining governors and the remaining National Assembly members will defect. Because if the National Convention is controversial, there is every tendency that it may compromise their election.
Of course.
Because if at the end of the day the court says you cannot run, it will be too late for them to defect to another political party, mobilize, lobby, and be able to run for elections. So if PDP does not close their rank and file very quickly, by 2026 they may end up losing the entire.
2026 is even far. Because if you watch, most parties now, their conventions are December and perhaps January 2026.
So there will be more defections.
Yes, serious. Well, any party that didn't do their listen by December and January is already late, running late. And so whatever PDP is doing, they have between now and January 2026.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Kingsley Akumefle, PhD. For coming. It's a pleasure having you.
For inviting me once again.
It's a pleasure.
Yes.
And thank you so much, our viewers, for staying connected to us. And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. We are open for sponsorship of the program, advert placements, news, events, coverage, and commercials. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. On Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. You can also watch us on Avo TV, Niger TV, and Efastech TV platform. You can connect with us on our ATN socials by subscribing, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. And on X, Atlantic TV Net. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Laurentia Ugu. Transition News comes up next. Do not go away.